Small talk. I read the phrase the imperative of conversation and hated it on sight. Talking is not essential in the way that diplomats would have us believe, although there are some so desperate for talk they fear silence is the music of the abyss. They forget silence is also the music of the ineffable. The eyes look in as well as out. In the quiet of the mind, all paths lead to the junctions of aria, soliloquies, shanties, bawdy songs, heartbreaking ballads, sonnets, sonatas, and screams. These all beckon to us, wave us toward them, insist themselves, but they are no more essential than the serene gaze on the darkling forest in the sweet twilight of winter, or the glistening eyes that lock your eyes in the raining afternoon. Pandora's box. After Prometheus stole the fire, Zeus gave Pandora away. She was a beautiful prize. All her boyfriends were sorry to see her go. But he left her with the Grecian urn we call her box. When he left her, he said, "You'll promise me you'll never open the box." Then he gave her a vapor whose trail up her nose to her brain pricked every junction of curiosity. This my mother read me. And then I read myself in the How and Why library, which she bought me. 5 volumes, each emblazoned with the image of a god, each presiding over the topic of the volume: heroes, travel, nature, knowledge, and stories. Jupiter, Mercury, and Phoebus Apollo, Gaia, Ceres, and Athena, and Juno. In the first volume, a child in the dark is given a candle by a teacher. A note in the nature volume says optimism is a duty. Volume 4 shows a mother and a boy with a book with the caption, "You expect great things of him." Volume 5 shows the mother at a door and says, "The mother holds in her hand the keys that unlock the treasure house of beauty, love, romance, and happiness for her eager child." Pandora wanted to keep her vow, but she was driven to know. She had to know. When I was a babe being read to by his mother, I saw Pandora's box and knew when it opened that insects, fungus, mold, rot, lichen, moss, salamanders, fermentation, and other forbidden things had been released forever. The rose appears as sunlight through oak trees in fog. Out on a morning walk before the storm sky blew in, we rounded a bend in the trail under the oak canopy and saw a light that stopped us in our tracks. Sunbeams like heavenly rays in a religious window came spearing through fog and great oak in parallel shafts on the trail bed. Just 2 days before, we saw J. DeFeo's great painting sculpture, The Rose. 2 tons of heavenly shafts like these sunbeams, grooved and radiant like the sunbeams, the image of the sacred in the spongy world where grotesque mushrooms rise erect in the damp winter forest. Walking through the swirling shafts of light, moisture glistening on your gloves, was like touching the rose when the museum guard looked away. Ideogram. I want to say I am hungry, and must say it in a picture. And when I want to say, "Come with me," or listen quietly to this, it must be a picture. I can see a snowy egret standing alone in a vernal pool, or a broken branch heavy with lichen and moss that looks like paper, where the painted words might be written. I want to say thank you, or let's walk up there, or look. I can see where the huge mountains hold and circle the swelling wetlands and the red reeds that enfold the bay. I can see the quilted clouds domed above us, and I can see us walking, Han Shan's ghost a half a league ahead, the egret flying now, croaking out his clown's call, the water in the wetlands shimmering, all the whites and lights and scalloped oak leaves dancing on the surface.